Good evening. I would like to call the April 11th, 2024 Mehlville School District Board of Education meeting to order. If we could all please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if I can do roll call. Tori Belke.
Present.
Scott Hugerich.
Present.
Patrick McKelvey.
Present.
Jean Preto. Here. Jeff Woolman.
Here.
Grace Wright. Here. And I'm Peggy Hassler. If I could please get a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Open period for patron comments. We do not have anyone signed up. Do you guys, Mehlville or Oakville, have anything? Neither? You want to say anything? Nope. Okay. So these are our student board members with us tonight. One is from Mehlville and one from Oakville. So typically they give us updates, but this is a little bit different of a meeting. So if I could please get a motion.
Actually, before we move on, under communications, we do need to recognize Ms. Peggy Hassler for her year of service as the board president. We give these out every year, but this past year was a big year. It was a lot. It was my first year, and I thank you very much for the guidance through that. I think your leadership has put us in a very good spot. So on behalf of the school district, on behalf of the board, we just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, but wait a minute. I'm not going to do a picture without the team because this is a team sport. So come on, guys. We all deserve it. We all deserve it.
Just wants to make it longer.
Okay, in all seriousness, though, I do want to recognize the entire board, and Dr. Hogg, and the cabinet, and Tammy, and Sue, but she's not here tonight. Everyone is an equal partner in this group, and we all work diligently to do great things for Mehlville School District and things that are in the best interest of our kids. And so I want to appreciate everyone. I deserve nothing. If, like I said, it is a team sport. We all work together. So thank you for the plaque, but I feel like everyone should have gotten one in this room. So thank you very much. Okay, if I can please get a motion to approve the action items by consent, A through B.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay, moving on to, where am I here?
Six.
Governance seated board. Do I just move on to A?
Do we have to re-adopt BBFA?
No, you
That's
did.
in B.
Okay.
That's in consent. Yeah. All right. So as we all know, there was an election on April 2nd, and so we need to accept the unofficial results until they are certified by the St. Louis County Board of Election Commissioners, and to declare the election of Patrick McKelvey and Tori Belke to a 3-year term on the Mehlville School District R9 Board of Education. If I could please get a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. So now I need a motion to accept the unofficial results until certified by St. Louis County Board of Election Commissioners, and to declare the election of Peggy Hassler and Jean Preto to a 2-year term on the Mehlville School District R9 Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay, if I could please get a motion to adjourn sine die.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Now to you.
Okay. All right, so if I could have Patrick and Tori meet me up front.
Congratulations. If you could just read the oath of office together in unison, and you can put your right hand up. Yes. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Missouri, and that I will faithfully and impartially demean myself in office to discharge the duties of school director in and for the Mehlville School District R9, County of St. Louis, State of Missouri, to the best of my ability, according to the law. Okay, you are set for 10 more years.
Now I guess you and I have to go.
I will swear in Jean Credo and Peggy Hassler for a 2-year term. You both could also raise your right hands and read in unison of your oath of office.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Missouri, and that I will faithfully and impartially demean myself in office to discharge the duties of school director in and for the Mehlville School District R9, County of St. Louis, State of Missouri, to the best of my ability, according to law.
All right, congratulations.
You ready, Tammy?
Ready.
Okay. All right, congratulations to the 4 of you. So at this point, we'll move to the election of officers. Thank you and good evening, Board of Education. I'll lead the meeting for the election of the president and vice president. After the approval of the vice president, I will turn the meeting back over to the president. I open the floor for nominations of president of the Mehlville Board of Education.
I nominate Peggy Hassler.
Peggy, do you accept?
I do.
Any other nominations?
Do we have to second that?
Oh,
First, you have to see if there's nominations. I think.
hearing none, is there a motion to cease nominations and accept Peggy Hassler by acclamation?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, Peggy. Vice President, I open the floor for nomination of the Vice President of the Mehlville Board of Education.
I'd like to nominate Tori Belke for Vice President.
Tori, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to cease nominations and accept Tori Belke by acclamation?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, Tori. Madam President, the meeting is yours.
Okay. If I could please get a nomination for secretary?
I'd like to nominate Patrick McKelvey.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, I will cease nominations. Can I get a motion, please, to have Patrick McKelvey be the secretary of the Mehlville Board of Education?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. So now I need a nomination for a treasurer.
I nominate Marshall Crutcher for treasurer.
Okay. Any other nominations? Can I get a second?
I did.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Jean? Okay, sorry.
Rushed it a little bit,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay. Next, we need to consider Board of Education committee assignments for 24-25. So if I could please get a motion to approve the Insurance Facility Finance Policy Communications and Advocacy Committee assignments as presented. I do want to mention that we will be leaving Jeff Woolman as the advocacy chair because that's an important job and he is in it
To win it.
to win it. So I would like to continue to keep him on that committee along with Jean, because they do fine work. And so if we could please get a motion to approve the committee assignments as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay, moving on to MSBA delegate and alternate. If I could please get a nomination for the MSBA delegate.
I would like to nominate Jeff Woolman for delegate for MSBA.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, if I could get a motion, please? Is that right?
I think we see.
Do-
Okay, I so moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. If I could please get a nomination for an MSBA delegate alternate.
I'd like to nominate Jean Preto for MSBA delegate alternate.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, I'd like to cease nominations. If I could get a motion for Jean Preto as the alternate delegate.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Now, if I could please get a motion, a nomination for an SSD Governing Council delegate.
I'd like to nominate Patrick McKelvey.
Okay, do I have any other nominations? Okay, I will cease nominations. If I could get a motion to approve the SSD Governing Council delegate.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Can I please get a nomination for SSD Governing Council delegate alternate?
I would like to nominate Scott Hugerich for SSD delegate alternate.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, I'd like to cease nominations. Can I get a motion to approve Scott Hugerich as the SSD Governing Council alternate?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay. Moving on, we are,
That takes care of it, huh?
that takes care of all of the nominations, so thank you everyone for the patience. Moving on to D, Mosaic Security Entrances. I believe Mike Gagg will be presenting on that.
Good evening, Board of Education. My name is Mike Gegg, Director of Facilities. I'm here tonight to present on Mosaic's new security entrance and office alterations. The scope of this project includes upgrades to Mosaic's entrance and office to provide more secure setting for our students, staff, and visitors. This project will add a security vestibule to the office and include modifications to the office, teacher's lounge, and conference room. I would like to move to approve the lowest qualified bid submitted by Aspire Construction in the amount of $468,543, which includes base bid, professional, contingency, and reimbursement fees. That's it. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, there are questions on e-boards for the community to read, our free meeting questions, if anybody would like to look at those. If I could please get a motion to approve the lowest qualified bid by Aspire Construction as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Mike. If I can please what am I doing? Next up is strategic plan update. Student preparation, Dr. Brian Smith.
Thank you. It's not my place to ask you what you are doing. It's your place to ask me what I'm doing. So I'm here tonight. I'm Brian Smith, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, and tonight I'm here to be able to present to you on a strategic plan update specific to student preparation. So there are two parts to this fairly brief presentation. One of them is to provide an update with regards to data regarding reporting calendar that we are working on finalizing, as well as to talk a little bit about professional development plans moving into the 24-25 school year. So to start with the data reporting calendar, this is a new concept, and you will have more reports from us specifically around data that will help transparency, it'll help accountability as well. So led by Dr. Hogg, you can see we've had some discussions around the creation of a data discussion schedule. You'll see a part that you will all have in this as well. But the next visual that you'll see here momentarily talks through 3 different stages: the principals, SSD coordinators, as well as our curriculum directors here in the district. You can see that principals will have an opportunity for 15-minute meetings, and our SSD coordinators as a group will have a 1-hour meeting at various times and with various topics. You can see the visual, which is also, again, on e-boards. Everything is attached. So you can see the blue column on the left with regards to principals and a month-by-month standpoint. You can see the green column in the middle with regards to our SSD coordinators, as well as the pink column to the right. And you can see month to month, there is consistency, obviously, with our principals and our area coordinators, our SSD coordinators, and then you can see it's a little different with regards to our curriculum directors and the nature of the topics in which they will be speaking to, and will be creating presentations to be able to keep the board informed. Overall, you can start to see some of the priorities that really will be highlighted in this future data calendar reports that we have. Another way to look at it is more specifically, what are some of the topics that we will be looking at when you drill down a little bit more? MAP, APR, benchmarking assessments, discipline attendance grades, and then overall standards analysis with regards to what are kids learning, how are kids doing. So you can start to see principals, they'll have various touch points throughout the year. Our SSD coordinators will have a few touch points throughout the year, and our curriculum directors will have more regular touch points with regards to various presentations that we will present to you. Second part of this is just an update with regards to professional development going into next year. And so as a highlight, as we start kind of wrapping up, we're getting towards the end of obviously the 23-24 school year. And as we start to think about 24-25, you'll see that the district calendar, in terms of the full days and the half days in which we would have for teacher professional development, we also have early release days throughout the course of the year for the 24-25 school year. So you can see there's a fair amount of time. Full days are typically 6 hours, half days are 3 hours, and our early release days are about 2.5 hours apiece. And I bring that up because there's a different way of looking at this. For those, if I can, we'll do it. I don't think it will. Sorry, I was trying to get the red dot working here. You will notice in the columns, for those of you that are either here or watching online, where it says building time and district time. And so I mentioned that before, these are 2.5-hour sessions when we have early release days. Before, when we had early releases, those were really at the discretion of the building principal, the leadership team, and what the needs assessment survey results were showing. What were the needs with professional development? What we have worked towards is obviously continuing to allow principals to have some time to be able to work on individual goals within their building, and yet at the same time, we know there's some pretty prescriptive professional development that we need to do around data, and all various types of reviews, progress monitoring, benchmark reviews, some of that stuff that you can see listed on the far right-hand side. So buildings will have those early release times. They may not have the full 2.5 hours as what they had before, but they will have a variety of times throughout the course of the year. And you can see the district time that is there. That'll be supported by our curriculum directors and our curriculum team as a whole with regards to providing resources and presentations and such for building principals to be able to help lead their teams of teachers through as well. So that is a little different than obviously what we've done it in the past. But we do feel that a more prescriptive approach is the right thing to be able to continue to focus on what we all know that we need, and that's that focus on results. So I want to say thank you for your time, and I guess if you have any questions, I would certainly take them.
I have one brief question. So are we beginning this coming May with the spring benchmark map debrief?
Yes, once we have those results, we'll be able to, likely the next board meeting, which would probably be June, at that point in time, to be able to have some overall results. Here's how we did in the fall, here's how we did in the winter, here's how we did in the spring with regards to the 23-24 school year. So it's always going to be looking back just a little bit, but we want to try to make sure that we can keep it as real time as possible.
I love how this is laid out here. I like the fact that it's reoccurring and that it's structured throughout these months, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for your time.
Next is Advocacy Committee update. Jeff Woolman.
Okay, since it's been a few weeks since I last brought up updates of the state of what's going on in Jeff City, the budget has made its way from the House to the Senate. It was multiple weeks later than expected, and there was far less discussion in it amongst the House members before it moved to the Senate. So that's going to make for some interesting and pointed conversations that happen in the next 4 weeks, because they have to get it done 4 weeks from tomorrow. And since the budget is the all-encompassing piece that it is, there's some discretion on what the governor asked for versus what was put forth by the House Budget Director. So there's going to definitely be some conversation happening with that. Senate Bill 727, which started as with ESA expansion and now is morphed into a 160-odd page bill for essentially an omnibus, went through fiscal review today, which means it'll be working its way towards full discussion in the House probably next week. And then from there, we'll see what happens to it. House Bill 1989, which is the open enrollment bill, is finally getting committee time, but if it's getting committee time in early-ish April, chances are unlikely it may make its way out, but we'll see what happens. And since there's a litany of other things, the House has been extremely busy because they aren't fighting amongst themselves like the Senate is. There's a large number of bills that have come over from the House to the Senate that all have to be discussed, worked through, and the like. So the House is basically dumping even more work on the Senate, which means things might not get even closer to done than they expected. So the last 4 weeks are always the fun ones because we got to get the budget done, and that last week is always a flurry of trying to get things done. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks and go from there.
All right, thank you. Okay, action items by consent A through B. Does anyone need to pull anything? Okay.
I want to say one thing really quick. I saw under the retirements, Barb O'Brien is retiring after 22 years as a substitute teacher. She was my substitute teacher in 7th grade. She was a long-term sub for English, and I know I'm going to send her this link and just say thank you so much. She was such an incredible sub. I know she's still very active. She spoke at Point as a guest speaker last year. She's been such a great person in our community, so I want to say, Barb, you're the best. I love you. Thank you so much. 22 years as a sub is a long time.
Okay, I actually would like to pull A, and so I want to vote on these separately. So if I could please get a motion to approve
Action item B.
action item B.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. If I could please get a motion to approve action item A.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to abstain. So it's 6 and 1.
0-1.
Okay. All right, if I can please get an authorization of closed session.
So glad I get to do this another year. Let's see if I can do it. Motion to enter a closed session meeting for the purpose of reading of minutes of previous meetings and correction and approval of same or other items under Missouri Revised Statute 610.021, subsections 1 through 21, and 610.022, subsections 1 through 6, hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting particular employees, section 610.0213, and individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employment or applications for employment, section 610.02113, and legal action, causes of action, or litigation, section 610.02111.
Scott?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes?
Tori? Yes. Peggy, yes. Patrick?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Grace?
Yes.
Okay, if I could please get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?